Hey guys, what's up? I'm the Ragged Raccoon, and this is Tier Shift, the series where I bring a low tier Pokemon up a few tiers. In this episode, we're going to be using Stunfisk in the OU tier. It's running a specially offensive Assault Vest set. We also have a Mega Venusaur, running also specially offensive. We have a specially defensive heatran, a physical Scarf Azelf, a Life Orb Weavile, and a bulky Dragon Dance Gyarados. So now let's just get started. Let's get into a battle here. Alright, so we found ourselves a battle. We look at the other team. We see a Metagross, a Raikou, a Conkeldurr, a Hydreigon, a Vaporeon, and a Togekiss. So I think I want to lead off with a Heatran. Try to get Stealth Rocks or something up. So he starts with the Hydreigon. I'm just going to go straight for Stealth Rocks. And let's see what he wants to do. He might want to Earth Power or Focus Blast me, which would be bad for the Heatran. But let's see what he does. He might just end up switching. I doubt that. Because Hydreigon, he goes to the Earth Power. He gets the crit. He takes me right out. So that sucks. I'm going to go into the Weavile. And I'm just going to go straight up for an Icicle Crash here. If he's not Scarfed, I will outspeed him. But I don't know if he's Scarfed or not. I would assume he is. He withdraws. He goes into Conkeldurr. I get an Icicle Crash off it. It does 50%. I don't want to take a Mach Punch, though. So I'm going to go into Azelf. So I don't take that all that well. Because Azelf's defense isn't that good. But I'm going to go for a Zen Headbutt. Actually, I'm going to go for a U-turn. Because he might want to switch on the Hydreigon. There's a Hydreigon switch. I go for the U-turn. That does a lot of damage. And we go right back into Weavile. And I'm just going to go for an Icicle Crash again. Going for an Ice Shard might be the better play, so I'm going to go for that instead. Because if he doesn't switch out and he has Scarfs, he could kill me potentially with a Flamethrower. And I think Ice Shard should be able to take him out. Well, let's see what happens. So he sees that this Weavile is a threat. I need this Weavile alive for that Metagross, probably. So he brings in the Metagross. Actually, no, this will go down to the Metagross all the time. So I'm going to switch into... I'm going to bring in the Venusaur, running a Hidden Power Fire. He goes for a Meteor Mash. That does a lot. So basically Venusaur just went down. There goes the Venusaur. That's really unfortunate. I'm going to bring up the Gyarados now. Get an Intimidate off. And I'm going to go for a Dragon Dance here. I resist that Meteor Mash, so I don't take that much. Does a lot of damage, even after an Intimidate. And I'm just going to go for a Waterfall here. This is 49%, so he can't take me out with a Bullet Punch. So this should be able to bring down that Metagross. And let's see what happens here. He withdraws. He goes into the Raikou. There's a lot to that Raikou. I don't know if he's Scarf or not. I'm going to go for the Waterfall. Might end up biting me in the butt. It does not, though. So his Raikou goes down. Gyarados is recovering HP with its leftovers. We're in a good spot here. There's not a lot that he has that wants to come in on Gyarados. Vaporeon could easily come in on Gyarados. And I don't really have much of an answer to Vaporeon. Except trying to sub up and resisting hits. Because I am running Substitute on this Gyarados. He brings in the Conkeldurr again. And I'm going to go for the Bounce. He gets a knockoff. I avoid that. I regain leftovers health, and I just come down on that Bounce. He could switch. He doesn't have a lot that wants to take a Bounce. because only his Metagross resists it. He brings in the Vaporeon. It takes a good amount. I do get paralysis on that. I'm going to go for the substitute here, just to see what he wants to do. He goes for a Scald. It does not destroy the substitute. So I'm going to go for another bounce. He brings in the Togekiss now on that bounce. So I'm coming down on that Togekiss hard. He might try to go for an Air Slash or something. I do 58%. That's a good one. I do get another paralysis. Gyarados just hacking the place up. I'm just gonna go for a Waterfall because I know I outspeed. So now his Togekiss goes down. And let's see what he wants to bring in next. He has nothing that wants to go up against it. So he brings in the Hydreigon. And I'm just gonna go for another bounce. He goes for the Draco Meteor. He does not take me out. I bounce up in the air. His next hit won't hit. Will miss. So I'll gain more leftovers. Take out the Hydreigon too. So he's Gyarados coming with a nice little sweep here. He brings in his Metagross. I should outspeed it. He might go for the Bullet Punch. I do outspeed it. I take out the Metagross. There goes that. Just keep regaining health here. He can't do anything to this Gyarados. Gyarados is such a monster. Especially after it gets a Dragon Dance. Let's see, so he brings in the Vaporeon. I'm just going to go for a substitute here, because I don't want to get burned or anything. And I'm actually going to go for a Dragon Dance on this turn. So that way I could try to secure that kill. Like KO with a bounce. He actually gets a crit on that. Doesn't matter though, because it would have broken the 70. I'm going for the bounce here. He gets paralyzed, doesn't matter. He wouldn't be able to hit me. Come down on the bounce. Just 59%. Doesn't do as much as I'd like. Hopefully he does not get the burn. So that's really good. I'm just gonna go for another bounce here. This Gyarados just 6-0'd his entire team. Didn't 6-0 because I already lost 2, but it took down his entire team. I missed that bounce, but he gets paralyzed, so it's not like it really mattered. We just regain a little bit of leftovers. And I'm just going to bounce again. I'm just going to keep bouncing until he goes down. Take out the Vaporeon. Only thing he has left is his Conkeldurr. He can't do anything to Gyarados. I'm just going to Waterfall him and take him out. So the Waterfall comes through, brings Conkeldurr right down, and we take that win. So I'll see you all in the next battle. Alright, we're back. We found a second battle. We look at the other team. We see a Kyurem Black, a Mega Manectric, a Clefable, a Skarmory, a Latios, and a Keldeo. So some really big threats on this team. We're going to lead off with the Azelf. He starts with the Latios. So I'm just going to go straight up for a knockoff here. He eats his Clover Berry. He doesn't take that much. I do resist that, so that's fine. I'm going to switch into the Weavile now, hoping that he won't do anything else, because he did try to Side Shock and Azelf. He goes for the Draco. That's unfortunate. But I do have a Pursuit Trap now, and I'm just going to go right for Pursuit. Take him out. That's fine. It's unfortunate that Weavile couldn't stay around longer, because he goes down to whatever he brings in. But let's see what he does. So he brings in the Skarmory. I'm just going to go for a knockoff here. Knock off his leftovers, but he has the Rocky Helmet. So I go down to the Rocky Helmet instead of the Life Orb. And I'm going to bring in Stunfisk here. And I'm going to go for the Thunderbolt. He goes for an Iron Head. I resist that. I go for the Thunderbolt. It does a good amount. I think he might Roost here, so I'm going to go for an Earth Power. He actually withdraws. So this Earth Power takes out that Manectric. It seems like a great prediction, but it wasn't. We just tried that. He brings in the Keldeo. I am Assault Vested. Let's see if I can take whatever this Keldeo wants to throw at me. I cannot. It was worth a try. Now we know for the future I'm going to bring in the Azelf. And I'm going to go for a straight up for a Scarf Zen Headbutt. He should know that I'm Scarfed. And he does. He sends out his Clefable. Takes 30% from that. And I'm going to go into the Venusaur. He goes for the Thunder Wave. It's unfortunate. I'm going to Mega Evolve, and I'm going to go straight for a Sludge Bomb here. He might switch in the Skarmory. He switches in the Skarmory. That's okay, because I run Hidden Power Fire on this. And Hidden Power Fire should do a good amount to Skarmory. He actually switches out again and goes into Keldeo. So I do reveal I am running Hidden Power Fire. Now I'm going to go for the Giga Drain. See what he wants to do to me. He might want to go for a Secret Sword. He switches out again into the Skarmory. So I think he's just trying to switch to see what I'm going to do. I'm going to go for a Giga Drain again. He actually goes for the Roost this time. So he's playing well. He goes for another Roost. I go for Hidden Power Fire. I get a crit. It actually doesn't do that much. I am modest, max special attack too. But, you know, what are you going to do? So I'm going to keep Hidden Powering. He goes with the Iron Head. He's down to 3%. I'm going to go for another Hidden Power. He goes for the Roost. This is going to be a stall war until one of us gets a crit, or I get a crit. I'm going to keep going. I think I'll switch into Heatran at this point. So I get Stab on my attack. I'm going to go for a Stab Lava Plume here. It should do significantly more. He brings out his Keldeo. He takes 20% from that. And I'm just going to go into Venusaur. He goes to the Secret Sword. I resist that. And I think he's going to switch again. I'm just going to Synthesis up. He goes into a Skarmory. I actually get paralyzed, so it doesn't matter what I did. He goes for the Iron Head. I go for the Hidden Power. And we're back at this. I'm going to go right into Heatran. He goes for another Roost. And I'm going to go for a Lava Plume here. He's probably going to switch into his Keldeo once again. He switches into the Kyurem Black, actually. He takes 38 from that. He's probably running Earth Power. So I'm going to switch into Azelf, who has Levitate. He goes to the Earth Power. Oh, he has Terravolt. So, yeah, that just happened. I'm going to go for the Ice Punch. He goes into his Clefable. It doesn't do anything. And I'm going to go into Venusaur here. Venusaur comes in. He goes for the Stealth Rocks. I'm going to go for a Hidden Power Fire. Actually, no, I think I'll go for a Giga Drain here. He brings in the Skarmory, so Hidden Power Fire would have been the better play. It doesn't matter because he will just keep roosting. So I'm actually going to go into Gyarados and try to set up behind a sub. Because his Iron Heads don't do anything, so Substitute will... He could Whirlwind me out. He does Whirlwind me out. I just kind of need to get rid of this as soon as possible. Because, in case you haven't noticed, it's been a big issue to the team. Azelf can't switch in anymore, because it will die to Stealth Rock damage. And this is just going to be a complete stall fest. So, Venusaur goes down. I'm just going to send an Azelf. He goes down. Send in Heatran. The only thing I can really do is go for Lava Plumes. He stays in to 60%. He goes for a Whirlwind. Gyarados comes out. I get the Intimidate off again. Get a little bit of leftovers. And I'm just going to go for a Waterfall. That takes out the Skarmory. He brings in his Keldeo, which I know is faster, but I'm just going to try to go for a bounce. He goes for the Scald, takes it out. So, we lost this battle, but that's okay. You can't win all of them. And I'm just going to go for a Lava Plume. And I'll see you all in the next battle. Alright, we're back with the third battle for this episode. We look at their team, we see a Sableye, we see a Ferrothorn, we see a Clefable, a Heatran, a Landorus, and a Latias. So let's see what we want to do. I think we're going to start off with our Stunfisk here. See how that fares. He starts with Sableye. I'm going to go for a straight up Thunderbolt. He goes for Mega, he goes for Toxic. I Thunderbolt, it does absolutely nothing. So that kind of sucks. I'm going to go for a Sludge Bomb to see if I can poison. Because it's probably the only way I could get rid of this. Or at least the most convenient way. He goes for the Recover. So I definitely want to get that Toxic. Let's see if I can get that. There's a 30% chance of just not happening. So it didn't happen. That sucks. We're going to go into Gyarados and try to get behind a Substitute. That Magic Bounce, that does not Magic Bounce at me. I thought it did for some reason. So I'm going to Substitute, because he's probably going to try to Will-O-Wisp me. So he Will-O-Wisps. He misses, but the sub would have blocked it. I'm just going to go for Dragon Dances. Until he does something else. So let's see what he goes for. He might go for Knockoff, but I think he's going to want to switch. Because he realizes that I'm behind a Substitute and he's intimidated. So his Knockoff won't be doing that much damage. He switches, he goes into the Latias. I get a Dragon Dance up. I'm going to go for another one. Because as long as I'm behind the sub, I'm fairly safe. He doesn't have any things that go through the sub. He goes for the Side Shock, breaks the sub. I'm going to go for a bounce here. His Side Shock does not connect because I'm in the air. And I come back down with this bounce here. I get the crit, I take him out. So Latias goes down. He brings in the Ferrothorn. I'm going to go for bounce again. He goes for the Gyro Ball. He misses. I'm going to come back down. I miss on that bounce. So that's unfortunate. He goes for the Leech Seed. So he'll be recovering health. I'm going to go for bounce again. He goes for Stealth Rock. He's using this time to set up. So he's just going to be annoying about this. I think I'm going to try to get behind a Substitute again. And now he actually goes for the Gyro Ball. So I'm going to bounce. Or I can't really bounce. I know he's going to use Protect. So I'm going to go for a Waterfall here. Just try to get some damage off. I do go down to the Gyro Ball. But now I could bring in my Venusaur. And I'm going to go for a Hidden Power Fire here. He switches out, he sees that coming. He goes right into Heatran. He gets the Flash Fire boost. I was actually considering running Earthquake on this just for the Heatrans, but I didn't. And I guess I'm going to pay the price for it. So I'm going to go to my own Heatran now. He goes for the Flash Cannon. It doesn't do anything. We're both Heatrans. And I'm going to go for the Roar on him. He goes for the Earth Power. He takes me out. I'm going to Azelf. I'm going to get a Zen Headbutt off on this. That pops his balloon, doesn't matter. He Fire Blasts me, I go down. And now I go into Weavile. So that also pops his balloon, so I can't knock it off. But that's my strongest move anyway against this. He actually switches and goes into the Clefable, which is interesting. Which takes a lot from that knockoff. I'm going to go for the Icicle Crash now. Which doesn't take out the Clefable. It was really close to, but I do get a flinch. And now he goes for the Protect. I'm just going to go for Ice Shards. I think I'll just go for the Pursuit here just in case. So let's see what he wants to bring in now. He brings in the ferrothorn. I go for the knockoff again. It takes that really well. I take a lot, and I'm going to go down to a Gyro Ball right about now. Yep, there's the Gyro Ball. And I have to go into Venusaur again. He's going to bring in the Heatran. And basically this is where I lose, because I can't touch that Heatran. So I'm just going to forfeit this, because I can't beat him, because that Heatran absolutely walls me. So thanks for watching. I'll see you in the next episode.